Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Delhi Township Board of Trustees meeting for June the 25th, 2025. As is our normal procedure, we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. And it's befitting that, since we're coming up on the 4th of July, that we take a moment to be grateful for our freedom and by all means pray for peace for the rest of the world. And the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. All right, let's open then with the approval of the minutes, Mr. Luby.
Motion to approve the minutes from the regular meeting on June 11th, 2025, and a special meeting on June 17th, 2025.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Motion to approve overtime for pay period ending June 10th, 2025.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion approved.
A motion to approve bills for payment.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion approved. Report from our fiscal officer, Mr. Luby.
As far as significant transactions, since our last meeting, we didn't have any significant deposits, unfortunately. And then as far as disbursements, we did have a check to Midtown Health for $39,000 for funding of the athletic club. So the good news is that's down from about $95,000 when the club first opened. And our payroll on June 19th was $409,000. That's all I have.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Luby. Trustee correspondence, Trustee Davis.
Some messages, I'm sure, that probably we all got as a board, so I'm not going to have to go into that, so not at this time.
All right. Trustee Sturts.
Nothing at this time. Thank you.
Wow. No trustee correspondence. All right. Well, we'll get to move right on into special presentations then. And our first special presentation, even though it's not quite the Christmas season, some people do celebrate Christmas in July. We're just a couple weeks early to that. But I wanted to say thank you to, first off, the committee for the Christmas parade. You know, for years we celebrated the Christmas parade done by the Delhi Business Association. And without their input, we had a group of citizens band together along with the township to put on the Christmas parade. It's a tradition in this township. And I want to thank personally Don Jenkins and Tony Capel for taking the leadership role and putting together a terrific Christmas parade. And you know, every year we celebrate with a grand marshal or marshals of the Christmas parade. And there's a lot of thought that goes behind who is actually the grand marshal. And you know, we've had a lot of great people in the past, and we did again this year. And this year we actually celebrated with two of our very finest Delhi Township police officers. And the first, and I'm going to come around now and ask Mrs. Chetwood and okay. Can you hold on a second? I'm moving. Our two honorees this year were Bob Chetwood and Mr. Jasper. Now, I say Mr. Jasper, Police Officer Jasper, because as a teenager, if you were in the Frisch's parking lot, somebody yelled, "Here comes Jasper," and everybody spread out. So he has a very special place in my heart. But I want to talk to you first about these two men that we honored this year as Grand Marshals. First is Bob Chetwood. You know, he was a man of great service. He served 27 years for the Delhi Police Department, but that was only after he was a veteran of the United States Coast Guard. He also served as a volunteer Delhi firefighter for 11 years. So that's over 33 years of service to the country, to the police, to the township, and we were so fortunate to be able to honor Bob Chetwood to be one of our Grand Marshals for this past Christmas parade. Mrs. Chetwood, would you like to come up? On behalf of the Board of Trustees and the committee for the Christmas parade, we would like to say thank you. Thank you to you for sharing Bob with us for all those years, and thank you for having served as the Grand Marshal for the Christmas parade. I know I had to talk him into it.
Thank you.
Yes. Our second Grand Marshal this year was none other than our own Don Jasper. Now, Don Jasper served 35 years and retired as a lieutenant from the Delhi Police Department. He was instrumental in the actual formation of the Delhi Police Department along with Chief Macon. So he's also a veteran of the United States Army, and he has spent many years working with the Boy Scouts. He's actually been honored with a very special award from the Boy Scouts. He's been a coach for many sports teams and a super decorated officer inside the Delhi Township Police Department. So I'd like to say thank you to Don Jasper. Here he comes. Don, on behalf of the Delhi Township Board of Trustees and the Committee for the Christmas Parade, we'd like to say thank you to you for serving as our Grand Marshal for the past Christmas Parade. Thank you.
Thank you. I also want to thank the trustees and the parade committee. It was a really super event. I had a blast. And I want to say one thing, though, that I want to commend also those people who were standing along the route in that cold weather. And let me tell you, return to Christmas cheer back to us. Thank you.
Thanks, Don. It seems hard for me to call her Mrs. Chetwood, too, because to me she's always been teeny. So, special evening, special presentation, and we get to follow this with another very special presentation.
Madam Chair, if you would please, I have a comment, if you don't mind, on the recent two.
Absolutely, thank you.
The two that you just saw here obviously are true ambassadors of service in this community. And anyone that's been around Delhi for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, what you just saw represented so many years of service and dedication and devotion to our township. And from the Jasper family, not just you, Don, but your family. It's here, you're rooted here, and the Chetwoods. And I was reminded when I just saw Mrs. Chetwood there of some memories in the past. And if you can all, and I know many of you are probably way too young to remember the Andy Griffith Show. However, there was an episode on there where Barney had to go up and tell these guys in a pickup truck who were selling produce they had to move it on because you can't be alongside the road there in Mayberry and sell your produce. Well, they kind of scoffed at Barney and he took off, right? Well, then he came back again, but only after Andy had gone up to these two gentlemen and said, if my deputy comes up, he's going to do a few things. First thing, he might pull on his tie, or he might go like this with his service revolver. And they said, yeah, and he goes, if he does that, you run. That reminded me of Bob Chetwood, like Shira was saying. When we were little and teenagers, if Bob Chetwood got out of that car and he strolled up and kind of went to his, we knew, we knew. The difference was Bob was dead on it. He wasn't bluffing. He was, you were going to go, or you were going to sit on that curb and until
Either
your
did
parents
Jasper
came.
kid you, either.
Oh, either
No,
one.
No.
Either one, but at the bottom line is it's just true love and service of the community, and that is awesome, and that's what we celebrate. Obviously, the Christmas parade, but just your investment into the township through the years, and again, and with the Jaspers, all of it, our police division being what it is because of people like you that came before. So thank you, and God bless your journeys.
Trustee Sturts, did you want to?
Sure. I'm a transplant. So I'm not from Delhi, so I can't share these wonderful stories, but I
our
remember
teenage
of all your teenage years, and I would never have been doing any of that. But anyway, I've heard the stories, and my husband's lived in Delhi all his life, so he has fond memories of both of you, well, your husband and you. And yeah, he has those same stories, so I've heard them, and all I can say is thank you. I mean, you made Delhi what it is, and people that come after you, follow in your footsteps, are making Delhi what it is today. And we just need a couple more Don Jaspers and Bob Chetwoods to put a little bit more fear sometimes into people. So thank you for that. And like Mike said, God bless all of you and your families.
Thank you. And isn't it fitting that tonight, after honoring two of our very finest from the past, we are about to swear in our future. So, Chief Braun, if you'd like to begin the ceremony of swearing in two brand new, shiny badged Delhi police officers.
Well, thank you. Thank you for allowing us the opportunity to celebrate a very special occasion, the ceremonial swearing in of our two newest police officers. We are proud to publicly welcome Officer Douglas Edmondson, who began his service with us on March the 28th, and Officer Tyler Shaw, who joined us on May the 7th. As many of you know, our employees are the department's greatest asset. Filling a vacancy is never easy. It takes time, discernment, and a deep sense of responsibility to ensure we bring the right people into our organization. In today's climate, the challenge has ever only grown. The pool of qualified applicants has significantly declined, and departments across the country are struggling to find candidates who meet the high standards of our profession and our community expect and deserve. Despite these difficulties, we are truly blessed to have found two outstanding officers who embody the values we hold dear. We have not, and we will not, lower our standards to fill a position. The integrity of our department depends on it. Officer Edmondson and Shaw are proof that excellence is still out there, and we're proud to have them join our team. Their hiring is also a testament to the hard work and dedication of our staff, whose efforts in recruiting qualified applicants made this possible. We owe them a huge thank you and deep appreciation for their commitment to strengthening our team. To dumb that down a little bit, basically our officers recruited these two gentlemen, and they're here today because of that. While Officer Edmondson and Shaw come from different backgrounds and experiences, they share a powerful common bond, a deep desire to serve the community they all call home. That shared commitment lays the foundation for effective, compassionate, and community-centered policing. We are confident that both of these gentlemen will be exceptional ambassadors, there's that word again, Trustee Davis, for our department and the values we represent. Their dedication strengthens our mission and reminds us the bright future ahead for our department. And before I call these officers forward to be sworn in by Trustee Seavey, I'd like to share a little bit more about them. So if I could have Officer Edmondson and his wife step forward, Krista. So Officer Edmondson is a graduate of Holmes High School in Northern Kentucky. He attended Northern Kentucky University, majoring in history and education. He served the U.S. Army Reserves as a military police officer from October 2013 to October 2021. I don't know if it's fortunate or unfortunate, he was deployed to Guantanamo Bay for some time. He received these awards when he was in the military: Army Achievement Medal, National Defense Service Medal, Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, Army Service Ribbon, Armed Forces Reserve Medal, and after all that, he attended the Police Academy in 2016 where he earned his certification. He worked for the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office for about 2 years as a correction officer, He was hired on as a police officer with Green Township, where he spent 6 years. He resides in our wonderful community with his wife, Krista, and their 2 sons, Vincent and Louis. In his free time, Doug enjoys spending time with his family, camping, weightlifting, playing golf, and playing basketball. So pinning Officer Edmund tonight is his wife, Krista. If you could have the honor. If I could have Officer Shaw and his spouse come up. Chelsea. So Tyler is a 2013 graduate of Centerville High School. A couple of transplants, like
On a transplant.
Trustee Sturts. He attended several semesters at Sinclair Community College. He began his career at River City Correctional in 2016, where he joined the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office and was promoted to sergeant in 2022. He resides in Delhi with his wife Chelsea and their 2 sons, Finian and Sullivan. In his free time, Tyler enjoys spending time with his family, woodworking, yard work, weightlifting, and collecting bourbon. And all that. So pinning Officer Shaw tonight will be his wife Chelsea, so if you would have the honor.
Right?
If you would do the honor.
I think we're on now. Okay. Well, this is always very special for the board to be able to swear in new officers. So congratulations on all this. And we'll begin with this, and you're going to repeat your name. Okay, that's your first test. Okay, all right. I, raise your right hand, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States of America, the Constitution and laws of the State of Ohio, and the resolutions of the Township of Delhi. And I will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all the duties incumbent upon me as a police officer of the Delhi Township Police Department, so help me God. Congratulations, gentlemen, and welcome to the Delhi family.
Are they? Oh, I guess so.
Too much moving around up here. We're still figuring this out. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, picture.
No city yet.
Um,
Okay, for those of you who don't want to hear all of Mr. Roach's nuisances, you're excused at this point in time.
whatever.
All right, everyone, we'll return then to our regular meeting and begin with our department presentations. Fire Department, Chief Campbell.
We have a motion to approve the hiring of Zachary R. Anderson as a part-time firefighter EMT in the fire department at the rate per the collective bargaining agreement with the Delhi Firefighters Association upon successful completion of the Ohio EMT voice stress analysis, pre-employment physical, and drug testing effective on June 25th, 2025.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Motion approved.
We have the motion to approve the hiring of Mitchell C. Lewis as a part-time firefighter EMT in the fire department at the rate per the collective bargaining agreement with the Delhi Firefighters Association upon successful completion of a pre-employment physical and drug testing effective on June 25th, 2025.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Motion to approve the hiring of Evan S. Massey as a part-time firefighter EMT in the fire department at the rate per the collective bargaining agreement with the Delhi Firefighters Association upon successful completion of a pre-employment physical and drug testing effective on June 25th, 2025.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion approved.
A motion to approve the hiring of Christopher N. Hammond as a part-time firefighter EMT in the fire department at the rate per the collective bargaining agreement with the Delhi Firefighters Association upon successful completion of a pre-employment physical and drug testing effective on June 25th, 2025.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Motion to approve the hiring of Tyler M. Hughes as a part-time firefighter and EMT in the fire department at the rate per collective bargaining agreement with the Delhi Firefighters Association upon successful completion of a pre-employment physical and drug testing effective on June 25th, 2025.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion approved. Department update, Chief Campbell?
Yes, thank you, trustees. First of all, these 5 hires, as you know, we recently went through the promotional process and then hired full-time from our part-time ranks. So these 5 represent filling those 4 spots and 1 additional part-time spot that we lost due to a full-time hire. So we're happy to be back up to full staffing. They'll start their orientation in the next couple weeks, and we'll get them out on the fire trucks here soon enough. So we did kind of put our process on hold, and I had indicated we were going to do a little bit better vetting, take our time, do background checks much more thoroughly, just making sure that we had the right candidates for the job, and that luckily by doing that, they're spaced out enough that we can hire all 5 at once and run them through a recruit class. So it's working out in our favor. And I owe the board a report, so got it up to Lori, so we've got a couple numbers I want to go over. So back in May, we did have 331. Biggest thing is, you notice the increase is just a smidge year to date. We were pushing 4, 5, 6% at periods of time for our increase for year to date. Things have slowed down, but it seems like June's going to be another year or another month where we're picking things up. And then our average total response time holding steady at that 524 mark. That is, again, it includes the time of call. You call 911, when they answer it, then the time starts. So I've never been able to give you those times in the past. And again, that's why it kind of brings to light that this is the total package. Hamilton County Communication gets the call, starts processing it, lets us know, we get on the road, and we arrive at the house. So this time is a little bit longer, but that's what you're seeing is that average time of call that they're processing the 911 call as well. So that's a little different. If I could have the next slide. So a couple weeks ago, we did have a fire down on Mount Alverno, and I definitely wouldn't be doing my due diligence here if I didn't kind of apprise the board on a little bit of the education of, this was the second fire in this house in around a decade, I think. Lightning does strike twice and very different circumstances, but I'm here to remind the community that this is what we see nationally. Cooking fires represent the most significant source of fire for structure fires in the U.S. Delhi is no different. Just pointing out, 2024, 9 of the 17 fires we made in the township were cooking fires. They contributed to over $425,000 in property loss last year, and so far $40,000 this year. The major factor that is important in in kitchen fires is understanding the prevention. Number one, all cooking in the house needs to be attended. We've had issues in the past where folks are tired off their third, shift. They come home, they start cooking, fall asleep. They don't realize it. They're tired and left something on the stove. We have people that leave things on the stove as storage, maybe a bag of groceries or something that they forget about it, go turn on the oven burner and don't even realize it's there and start it. We have folks under the influence. Honestly, intoxicated and decide they're going to cook something up, pass out, and it catches fire. We also consider age, the age of the person that's cooking as well. I don't want to say children, but adolescents that are kind of learning the process need to understand that if you're cooking, it needs to be attended. If we just solve that problem, we got 99% of it knocked out. The other side of it is early detection. So if it's attended, you have a fire. Then it's early extinguishment. So having an extinguisher in your kitchen handy. I know fire blankets are becoming very popular for grease fires. Very effective if you know how to use them and you can get to them. But if you go with the next slide, this is an example on two different scenarios, both in Delhi. One had a sprinkler system, one did not. And you can evidently see which one had the sprinkler system. So unfortunately, the one on the right was in one of our retirement homes. It was quickly extinguished by the sprinkler system before the fire department arrived. We basically cleared out the smoke and mopped up the water damage. On the left, nearly $500,000 damage. They start from the same thing, and I think the impact says it all in terms of that. So we're always happy to provide whatever fire education we can. We try to instill this within our youth, and sometimes we get away from it. We grow up and we don't think about this stuff anymore, but I'm trying to bring it from it. So not to place blame on anything under those circumstances, it happens, and we know why it happens. We just work to prevent it. If I could have the next slide. Also, yesterday, if you were in the neighborhood over by Pedretti, you might have noticed some thick black smoke. Around 4 o'clock, I'll remind you what the conditions were. 94 degrees and 103 feel-like index. No, crews arrived back from a fire alarm and were dispatched to a dumpster fire, which is not earth-shattering. It's not going anywhere. More what we worry about is the exposures. It was within 6 feet of the building, and I think they reported near a tree and things like that. The difference in this is fighting fires in this weather. We did call for additional resources to kind of help out with the manpower. A 40-yard dumpster exceeds our water tank by 7,500 gallons. It is a large construction dumpster. You fill it with combustibles. It takes a lot of water to put it out. And 103 degrees with 3 people, the officer made a good call, said, hey, just send us over another crew just so we can get help out, with setting up our water supply. So obviously we needed hydrant water and things like that. So this was kind of a little different, but I know there was public interest around it. You see smoke, you see in that area, the school and stuff, you're kind of like wondering what's going on. It was a dumpster fire, did require a little bit more resources than we typically need, but well enough, no damage to any property, nobody was hurt, and we took care of business, and I got back and showered in some cold showers. So that's my update for tonight, unless you got any questions for me.
Well, we are coming up on one of our favorite holidays here, which is with fireworks. Do you have any public safety tidbits that you'd like to
My
volunteer
first
to
rule of
us?
thumb is leave it to the experts. I can't tell you enough from a fire department's concern. Obviously, I think people will think first and foremost fire, but honestly, it's injuries that occur far more often. Hand injuries, eye injuries. Kids do not need to be playing with them. It's the facts. As far as the enforcement of using them, I'll let my Chief Braun handle that side of it, but certainly, using them respectfully and properly is the big part. But again, we worry most about the injuries, and that's why we just say leave it to the experts. Be mindful of where you store them, who has access to them, and certainly make sure they're legal.
Right, and those sparklers, those little sparklers that you see a lot of our children playing with, those are hot.
Yeah, I believe they exceed 170 degrees, I believe. So yeah, immediate burns, it's definitely not something to play around with.
Yeah, and unless we have some pop-up storms, we're going to have a lot of dry debris in the yards and so forth, so.
Absolutely. If this continues, then we do have concerns about it spreading and likewise, so yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm sure Chief Braun's probably got a few comments to add to the fireworks as well. All right, thank you, Chief. Parks and Recreation, Director Suppi, Department update.
Yeah, just updates today. As like Chief Campbell quoted, I think we went from a rainforest to an oven for work-wise. So the conditions are a little unhealthy for the guys, so we're kind of getting along. So there isn't a lot of progress on the parks, the dog park area. So once the stuff clears out, we'll be jumping on it, getting the rest of the fountains going and the play areas in. They just got to keep hydrated, working along, doing the rest of their stuff. So, we should have a lot of the, I've been doing a lot of extra work inside, so we're having quotes come in for the pickleball shades, shelters, dividers. So those are on my radar. They should be on by the end of the week. I just kind of keep it in simple. We have benches on the way being shipped, so everything coming in for the progress as soon as we're ready to roll. So.
Okay, and we had a little incident in the shelter on the playground over the weekend.
Yes.
And what I saw was an open grill being used underneath the shelter in the playground, the children's tot lot type place, the new one. And I believe our park resource officer may have made that call then?
Yes,
is that
he did.
correct, Chief?
Yeah, he stopped by, he took care of the problem. Most of our shelters that we rent do have grills accessible outside. We supply that for charcoal grills. That shelter alone, we do not rent. It is first come, first serve, family run. They kind
Right,
of
but
come
it
and
shouldn't
go.
have
No.
shouldn't have open grills
No, that was
underneath the
coming
shelter.
too.
And plus, there's children running around, and the last thing you want is for one of them to put their hand on a
Yeah.
hot grill or knock it over with,
Yeah, for sure. Somebody
Child
took
play.
it in their own mind and own circumstance and decided to do that. So, it was good that they made a call and
So
somebody
that
saw it.
shelter was really put there for the purpose of having shade for parents with children playing on the equipment. So, you can use it for a small picnic, but a full-fledged grill out is not appropriate for that particular shelter.
Yes, they can contact the parks, 513-451-3300. We do reserve the shelters every day, weekends, so just give us a call.
That
look
one is
online.
not reserved. That one's
That
first
shelter
come,
does
first
not
served.
reserve,
Because
no.
it's supposed to be a shade.
Yes, it's a public, open spot.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Anything? No. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Police Department then, Chief Braun? Hiring recommendation, Mr. Luby.
We have a motion to approve the hiring of Robert A. Clark as an assistant part-time clerk at a rate of $19 per hour, contingent upon successful completion of a background check, drug test, and voice stress analysis effective on June 25th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Motion to appoint Eduardo Mullins as community advocate intern in the police department, contingent upon successful completion of a background check and drug test effective on June 25th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Resolution 2025-103, declaring certain police vehicles and equipment no longer needed for public use, authorizing the sale to the Hardin County, Ohio Board of Commissioners, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading.
Introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Is there any discussion on this resolution, Chief Braun?
Actually, I could comment on all three of them if you like.
Okay.
So the hiring recommendation is Mr. Clark. He is a Delhi resident, and I think this is the adjustment we made in the pay scale actually kind of helped us along because Mr. Clark is a veteran of the armed forces. He worked for U.S. Customs, spent some time with TSA and also the U.S. Secret Service, and he is retired and is looking for a way to serve his community. And we're lucky to have him, and he's got obviously a lot of good experience and many years. So we're blessed to bring him aboard. So thank you for that.
Welcome, Mr. Clark.
Secondly, the second motion is the intern This is an intern from University of Cincinnati. It's an unpaid position. They usually spend 1 or 2 semesters with Kaylee Vickers, our community advocate. And once he becomes aboard, I've asked Kaylee to bring him to the meeting and not only give herself an update on what she's been doing, but also introduce Mr. Mullins to the community. And lastly, we've been selling vehicles to Hardin County for many, many years now, and we've taken them out of service because they're starting to become more expensive for us to use and operate, and it helps them and it helps us because if we go to put these things out on gov deals or try to auction them, we get a fraction of that money. So it's beneficial to us. We get to take all the equipment out that we would like to keep from the vehicles and reuse it, and they purchase whatever's left, and it's just been a great relationship with Hardin County for many, many years.
All right, Chief, we always get questions about selling these vehicles, and I know that you've done a lot of research about the cost that we get, the price that we receive, and it seems to be very satisfaction, right?
So, I mean, something you got to think about. These vehicles have about 80,000 miles on them, but you can't look at the mileage. You have to look at the idle time.
Engine time.
The engine idle time, and there's some studies out there that say you multiply the mileage times 3 on a police vehicle. It's just because it's just such a hard, the extended idle times and, et cetera. And it's just, it's time for us to get new ones. It helps us in the long run with maintenance. And it keeps our folks in safe, newer vehicles. And it's just it's an awesome relationship.
Yeah, for all of you, I just recently received a question about, are our police cars black now? Yes, they are. They're black and they're shiny, so there you go. All right, thank you, Chief. Any other updates?
So Citizens Police Academy, we've got one beginning on October 9th. Since putting it out about a month ago, we're about 50% full, so we're excited. We have some more room.
Great.
If anybody would like to join us and learn about the police department, the way we do things from the backside, and it's a 10-week program. Thursday nights, I believe, from 6 to 9. So just go on our website and you can find it there. Just want to give a shout out to our partners in Springfield Township. They hosted a training yesterday for leadership and wellness, and several of our people went there, and it was very good. So just give them a shout out, even though we did beat them in the coffee and cops event without advertising, just to throw that out there as well. And thirdly, just wanted to give a shout to our troops because they have been keeping an extra eye on the red lights. And I will tell you that just from red light enforcement alone over the past month, we've arrested 3 DUIs. So they're out there, they're doing their job, and I couldn't be more proud of them. So just wanted to send out a thank you to them for that.
Great, thank you.
Trustee Savy, we haven't finished with our resolution. We were under discussion.
Okay. Any discussion? Yes, and I move to dispense with the second reading. So that's you, Mr. Davis.
Thank you. I will move to dispense with the second reading of that resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes, resolution passes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything else, Chief Braun?
That's all I have unless you have any questions for me.
Trustee Davis?
I do have something for Chief. First of all, congratulations on your 2 new officers. And I truly appreciated you saying of how these 2 guys came along, that others recommended Delhi to them, and even from within your own department, which is kudos to you and your other supervisors. That obviously that speaks volumes when others say, hey, come here. This is actually a great work environment. I took note this past week. We've talked about this many times on getting police officers and how difficult it is, including with you, Chief Campbell, with fire and getting good, solid candidates. I noticed that Cincinnati took a little piece out of our playbook this past week. I'm sure it's done other places on allowing for lateral moves because they're desperate to get officers, and they want to put, I believe, 40 more out on the streets because, lo and behold, the city of Cincinnati figured out that they have a problem with crime with juveniles. They figured this out. Of course, they point to, well, we need better policing, we need more policing, so they're finally putting money into that budget to where it should be. But they don't say anything about these judges down in Hamilton County who just freely release these people, and they know it. They do a crime, they're released, some with no bond, OR bond, just release them and be back here on this day. And the kids and these youth and everything, including the one that just, a teenager for murder, right? All of it goes together. And how I just raised my eyebrow when I saw the city of Cincinnati make this big announcement that they were going now to allow other officers from other departments to come in with the same ranking, with the same money, all of it in order to lure them into the city. And I just thought, my, why don't you deal with the problem at hand first, which is your court system letting these people off so easily, because that's what they do. And you know it. We saw a talk with, I believe it was Joe Dieters, I don't know, a year or two ago, and these people know all these people that come through the jail system by name, as I bet you do and your officers do, because they are repeat offenders over and over because they refuse to stop it in its place. That if you do this, this is going to happen, you know. So again, I applaud you. I applaud your police division and fire also. And I hope the residents of Delhi realize how good we have it out here. And these people that serve you and to serve the residents, they truly are here to do just that, to be ambassadors, to be of service, because they love the community and they love being here. My prayers are for the city of Cincinnati. And one last point. City of Cincinnati is beginning, I guess, this new thing of trying to go after speeders. So they're really trying to crack down on speeders. And I thought, my goodness, the speeders aren't the problem. It's the ones running these red lights over and over and over. You know, the speeder, that's one thing. But if you want to get serious, get that stopped. And how ironic that you sat there and said after some of your red light violations, you picked up 3 DUIs. Big surprise. So kudos to you guys on that also. And City of Cincinnati, I hope you're getting your acts together. I truly do. You know, but you've got to get that crime taken care of, because when that reputation gets out and people don't want to go downtown and do all those things, that's a shame, because there are literally hundreds of millions of dollars that's been invested into that down there. So we are blessed, and I'll tell you what, keep doing what you guys are doing, and secure the borders here for the township, you know. Thank you so much.
Border Patrol.
Yes.
Trustee Sturts?
Well, I can piggyback on that a little bit, Mike. The other night, our granddaughter, they need to rush her to the hospital. What was it, 12 o'clock at night, Butch? And he's sitting at Burnett, and here came this 3-wheeler and just doing donuts in the middle of the intersection, keeping people from getting to the hospitals. And not a policeman around, you know, just, and he looked like he, you know, we can't judge his mental state, but he looked like he had been in the bottle. But, you know, it's going on, and it's summer, and again, they're saying they're going to crack down on it, but you know, it's scary. Like you said, you're trying to get a little one to the hospital, and you've got these fools out there that, you know, are threatening you.
I think it's unfortunate when we hear a line that the police get back into their districts after letting off a criminal, and the criminal beats them home. Now, that's sad. They're out faster than our police officers can return home to their districts or to their stations. That's, well, yeah.
Thank God it's not our problem.
Yes, maybe.
Right now.
Right now.
And it won't be, will it, Chief?
So
right.
just real quick, just to plug out for you all, I think that, thank you for all the kind words and comments. We're blessed as far as the police department, because anytime we come to you all for a new piece of equipment or new vehicles, or you know, if we need, you know, hiring folks, et cetera, I mean, it's always, you know, you ask great questions, you want to make sure that we're doing our due diligence and et cetera. But as far as equipment, I would put our officers against anybody in the county or in the state with the equipment we have. And it's a blessing, and I know we don't say that enough. And, you know, we couldn't do our jobs as well as we do without the equipment in our cars, on the equipment they carry, the flock cameras, and, you know, all the things that we do. And the flock cameras continue to bring dividends to us as far as finding criminals and, you know, tracking down hit-skip vehicles, and, you know, and I need to get you all another report at the next meeting how what we're doing there too. But it's just, I can't thank you enough.
Yeah. Chief, Cincinnati doesn't have flock cameras, correct?
They do not. I know they're looking into them. They have another system that's out there.
Okay.
It's aged. It's the one that we actually, if you remember back in the day, we got a grant to put one up on Delhi Pike, and we could never get permission to hang them on the poles.
Right, okay.
So it's an aging system, and I know they're looking at what we have and everybody else around them has, so we can be in the same system. You know, they have access to everybody's cameras like we do too, but technology is there, and it's a great tool.
Thank you.
But now Coleraine still has no cameras, correct?
They actually approved, I want to say 15, I think.
So that's recent.
Yes, very recent. I don't even know if they're up
They need
yet.
a lot.
So,
I mean, they're
okay.
so much bigger. Yeah.
Thank you. Because those are our mutual friends, neighbors that we depend on them and share information with. That's why I asked about Coleraine. Okay, thank you. Public Works, then, Director Rippinger.
We have Resolution 2025-1, authorizing execution and submission of the 2024 Township Highway System Mileage Certification, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution?
This resolution, we do annually, and it's required by the state. Helps us out on some funding, so just looking to approve it. It's about 54 miles.
Okay.
Move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mr. Davis? Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes, resolution passes.
May I make one comment? I hope everybody heard that he said we have 54 miles of Delhi Township roads that we're responsible for. So when you're out there wondering why we're not taking care of Delhi Pike and Anderson Ferry and Pedretti and Foley and things like that, those are Hamilton County roads. And if we add that to our load, Lord knows how many extra miles that would be.
They're actually close to about that mileage, too, in Delhi.
Okay, so double our mileage, and that doubles our budget for salt, doubles our manpower. So when you ask why we don't take care of it, there are some economical reasons and there's some political reasons. You know, we don't own the street. So I just want to bring that to everybody's attention that they heard that. And I heard a conversation, we've grown how many miles in just past couple years?
It's been quite a few years, probably in 10 years, maybe
Okay.
4 miles roughly.
Oh, just 4?
Yeah.
Oh,
think it's
okay.
about
I
4 or
thought it
5.
was more
It takes a
significant.
little while with the
Takes a while,
subdivisions,
yeah.
yeah.
Ron, clarify something for me. Is that road miles or lane miles?
Road, let's see, that is lane miles.
So
Yeah,
both
I get
sides?
that mixed up
So you're
sometimes.
measuring this
Yeah.
and that?
Yep, okay.
Okay, good to know.
And then we have our designation on our website. If you ever wonder, like, who maintains Neeb Road or what have you, it's on there.
Okay, thank you.
And we usually get those questions when there's snow.
Well, I thought I'd bring it to their attention since this topic
Absolutely.
came up, so.
If it's
Thank you for
35 miles per hour, it's typically a county road. 25 miles per hour is township.
35 miles per hour and it's in double yellow lines.
That helps too, yeah, usually it is.
Okay.
Double yellow, 35.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next resolution then, Mr. Luby.
Resolution 2025-105, authorizing application for a grant from Hamilton County Engineers Office for 20% licensed tax funds to assist in the cost of the 2025 street repair expenses, authorizing the Director of Public Works to execute any required documents in connection with the grant application, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading.
I introduce and move the adoption of this resolution.
I second the adoption of this resolution.
Any discussion on this resolution, Director Rippinger?
This is about $18,000 that we'll receive from the grant, and it's from the licensed tax fund, and we will be putting that toward a curb project we got going on this year.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Davis.
Yes. I move to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of this resolution.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mr. Davis? Mrs. Sturts?
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey?
Yes, resolution passes. Any other department updates?
Just the slide we have on Hillside opening, this was delayed as far as, mostly, I think, because of the rain we received for months, I believe. But it should be open Friday. We did receive a few phone calls on it, and maybe next meeting I can do some before and after pictures. I know this project started probably 7 years ago, and it took this long to get funded and get engineered. So it was a big project. I believe it was around $3 million. And this was ran by Hamilton County engineers that we just talked about.
Point of reference, for those of you going to catch the ferry down Anderson Ferry, it's closed. From Palisades Drive down to River Road, it's closed.
This is Hillside.
I know, but they closed Anderson Ferry because of the hillside on the right and hillside to the left. Anderson Ferry was closed today from Palisades down to, well, hillside.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that one. I didn't hear anything on it.
I could have called you. All right, thank you. Anything else?
So wait a minute, how long will that be done? Until Friday now? You're going to have to check on it, aren't you?
Yes.
And the Cincinnati police were there monitoring the stop, so they were really stopping the traffic.
Chief Braun said it was a wreck.
There was a wreck.
Yeah, it wasn't having to do with the construction, but the construction did take place today, too.
Well, it was closed for about 3 or 4 hours. I mean, that was a long time for just a wreck.
They had power out, too, from that.
Oh, they did have power out, too? Okay,
Our power went out here because of it.
good. All right, well,
Should
thank
be
you.
open now.
I know. That's right.
So those of you going to the airport, it should be a free ride to the ferry. Thank you. All right, administration then?
We have a motion to schedule a public hearing on July 9th, 2025 at 6 p.m. to review the tax budget for the next succeeding fiscal year ending December 31st, 2026.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes. Mr. Miller, do you have updates from administration?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, Board. Yes, so the public hearing at our next meeting, it's this time of year again. It's the start of, of a new cycle, essentially. This is I'm going to say our practice run, if you will. This is simply a proof of concept to show money coming in from revenue sources, will meet our needs and show general expenses. So think of this as your 30,000-foot view of our budget. So as we get into, early September, October, that's when we're doing our deep dive into departmental budgets, really breaking out where our account lines are and, all the real fun stuff. So this should be a very simple process. I don't expect spending any more than 15 minutes on this, but good proof of concept work. Okay. As far as updates in administration, warranty work at DTS continues. We had about 60 warranty items that were extended past our 1-year mark. Pretty typical of new construction buildings. Nothing, there's nothing here that you don't expect to see. We're roughly a third of the way through that list right now. Drywall repairs have been happening this week. They had actually closed off that stairwell and had to reopen it for our meeting tonight. Even new buildings settle, so you're going to get a couple cracks. So it's simple things. Moving on from that, we are in the process of establishing a new township department. The township is going to be taking over direct operations of the Delhi Event Center. And, with that comes a lot of, reorganization. So speaking to members of the public right now, if you see the township doing, special meetings for executive session, we have some hirings to do. So we do have multiple executive sessions coming up. We will have a meeting on Friday afternoon, as well as next Monday. These are all to review hiring. So I obviously won't get into the details of those, but there is a bit of a rumor mill out on social media, as we all know. I want to try and get the misinformation, or at least head off the misinformation. So what are we doing? We're standing up a new department, and we have those positions publicly advertised. So that's all in process right now. That's all I have. We've got a lot of events to announce later on, but we'll wait on that.
Okay.
So.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Miller.
I do have just one question about our warranty work. I mean, I know it's been a year, even though the warranty work's not completed. Some
So-
of these are a year.
Yeah, so what we
and those are
did,
acknowledged.
as a typical new construction project, we do an 11-month warranty walk, okay? So within that 1 year, we're living in the building, we're letting things settle, getting a feel for the space. You know, maybe something was set up, you know, lighting controls are one thing I can think of right now that they just didn't pass the ongoing, the day-to-day operations of the building. So, those controllers either have to be replaced, reprogrammed. Maybe there's some settling, a pothole out in the parking lot, or the building settling, so we have a crack in the drywall. So during that 11-month walk, our team reviewed the building, identified those items, and we are essentially extending the warranty out, notifying those contractors, those subcontractors, that they have to come out and fix this. That is that's all at the cost of the contractor. It's still under warranty. So now we're past our 1-year mark where we've accepted the building. They still owe us that work.
Okay.
So, and that's ongoing right now.
Just wanted to clarify.
So, yeah, the drywall work, Prue's coming out and, fixing some of our storm catch basins. Big dollar work. They're on the hook for it. We're not cutting additional checks. So.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Thank you. All right.
Skylar, on your administration slide that we use each meeting, that building on the left in front of that, is that a stuffed dumpster?
That is a dumpster. You are absolutely right. I think that is from, we'll get an updated aerial. Thank you for that.
Okay.
Yep. I can't wait until we have an updated aerial where we can kind of bring it up and seat, the seating site's all
Yeah.
finished. It's going to look good.
Mike, at least
I
it's not on
thought it was a
fire.
truck.
Mike, at least it's not on fire.
It is not on fire.
It's
that
not
is
on
correct.
fire, yeah. And it is at least 6 feet away from the
At
building.
least it's not a dumpster fire. Is that what you're saying, Rose?
That's
We
right.
need mutual aid on that.
Okay. All right,
Gotta
then. Moving on then to community development, Director Roach. If you want to describe what we're doing here, we're going to group these
Yes,
again.
so we're gonna group them
Everyone's getting
again.
used to it.
Yep, that's correct. So the first 7 resolutions that Mr. Luby's going to read are all for excessive vegetation. He'll go ahead and read through them. And then I guess you will make a motion on Resolution 106 to 112.
We'll do one consolidated reading for all of the nuisance.
So 106 to 117 then, so
For presentation purposes, the first, did you say 6 or 7?
first 7 are all excessive vegetation.
All right.
And I'll just let Mr. Luby go ahead and just read through those and just go ahead. If you have stopped me, then stop if you have questions and I'll answer them.
I'll read off the slide, that's fine.
All right, so in an attempt to streamline a lot of the nuisance that come through, they're grouped into 2 groups tonight: vegetation, excessive vegetation, and accumulated debris, correct?
That's correct.
And the first group we will be answering is excessive vegetation.
That's correct, the first 7.
All right?
So starting with Resolution 2025-106, we have 3950 Delhi Pike. 107 is 975 Anderson Ferry Road. And interrupt me if you have any questions, I will stop. 108 is 1165 Devil's Backbone Road. 109 is 5433 Cleves Warsaw Pike. 110 is 5338 Whitmore Drive. And 111 is 481 Pedretti Road. 112 is 5441 Boutique Court. And now we're back to, this
Okay,
is.
just a moment, Mr. Miller.
All right.
The Whitmore Drive photo, there's a pool on there. Is that part of the excessive vegetation property?
Yeah, this is all high vegetation.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
You can see it all around the pool.
And does that pool have a cover on it?
By our regulations, it does not have to have a cover on it, but I can't tell by the photo. It looks like it does not have a cover on
It
it.
looks like the liner's ripped.
It looks like the liner is ripped, and it looks like the fencing is not complete around the back of the pool. Do you see it, Rose?
We'd have to look. The fence could
Yeah.
be back, it could be back behind the
Okay,
tree.
all right.
There could be additional, yeah.
Yeah, but the nuisance is just for.
For the vegetation. Okay, thank you. All right, we're now into accumulated debris resolutions.
Yep. So 113 is 975 Anderson Ferry Road. 114 is 4605 Foley Road. 115 is 4425 Clover Hill Terrace. 116, 465 Moorview Drive. 117 is 5435 Bonita Drive.
Okay.
Any questions?
No.
Okay, all right,
on
we
that.
can do it. We can do a consolidated reading.
We have Resolution 2025-106, declaring nuisance for excessive vegetation at 3950 Delhi Pike, declaring emergency and dispensing with the second reading. Resolution 2025-107, declaring nuisance for excessive vegetation at 975 Anderson Ferry Road, declaring emergency and dispensing with the second reading. Resolution 2025-108, declaring nuisance for excessive vegetation at 1165 Devil's Backbone Road, declaring emergency and dispensing with the second reading. Resolution 2025-109, declaring nuisance for excessive vegetation at 5433 Cleves Warsall Pike, declaring emergency and dispensing with the second reading. Resolution 2025-110, declaring nuisance for excessive vegetation at 5338 Whitmore Drive, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading. Resolution 2025-111, declaring nuisance for excessive vegetation at 481 Pedretti Road, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading. Resolution 2025-112, declaring nuisance for excessive vegetation at 5441 Boutique Court, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading. Resolution 2025-113, declaring nuisance for accumulated debris at 975 Anderson Ferry Road, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading. Resolution 2025-114, declaring nuisance for accumulated debris at 4605 Foley Road, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading. Resolution 2025-115, declaring nuisance for accumulated debris at 4425 Clover Hill Terrace, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading. Resolution 2025-116, declaring nuisance for accumulated debris at 465 Moorview Drive, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading. Resolution 2025-117, declaring nuisance for accumulated debris at 5435 Bonita Drive, declaring an emergency and dispensing with the second reading.
I will introduce and move the adoption of resolutions 2025-106 through 2025-117.
I second the adoption of the aforementioned resolutions.
Any discussion on these resolutions?
I will move to dispense with the second reading of the resolutions.
I second the motion to dispense with the second reading of the resolutions.
All those in favor of the motion to dispense with the second reading?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Mrs. Sturts.
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes. Resolution passes.
Mr. Roach, how many did you work off of the list?
3.
3? Okay. Thank you.
Any other department update, Mr. Roach?
Yeah, just a couple things, thanks. Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., we have the ribbon cutting for Pedretti Place on Chief Campbell's
Friday
final.
morning.
I'm sorry? Or Friday morning, I'm sorry, I said tomorrow. Chief Campbell, on his last inspection, informed me that for 48 units, they have 100 applicants.
Wow.
So they're going to be filled up quickly. And just one other thing, Administrator Miller did execute the real estate contract for Dwyer for 6 months. If you saw when you come in, there's signs hanging in both windows on the north and south side. So they'll be marking our space below us. Hopefully they can find us a good tenant.
Okay.
Other than that,
Any
unless you guys have any questions for me.
No, I have a thank you as our Community Development Director. You know, when you do these are never fun. They're not fun for us, you know, when you have to do these nuisance things on resolutions. But we had someone that called and because they were concerned about their property and such. And I just wanted to thank you and Mr. Miller for taking the time to meet with that resident and get it resolved so it's not presented tonight, which is great. And that's why I wish we could do that with everyone. If you have an issue with something's going on, contact us, reach out. The fact that we have to do this meeting after meeting is just not necessary. But the other point is on some of these others, we don't like doing it, but at the same time, we do have to control the objective here. and that is that we're not going to allow Delhi to be trashed. You're not going to trash the township, and the fact that these neighbors have to deal with this. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some hardship cases, and if you have a hardship case or an elderly or challenged somehow, let us know. You know, we'd be glad. But a lot of this isn't. It's just defiant. It's just we're just going to throw it where we want, because when we moved into Delhi, that's how we did it where we came from. Ain't going to work. You might as well pack up and move on, because we will come at you. We are going to follow up, and next thing you will be being fined. So thank you for that. And as I said, for all those watching, we don't enjoy any of this. Not at all. No. But at the same time, we're not going to let you trash the township.
Yep.
So.
Like, this is the last thing we want to do, and that resident reached out to us, and it worked out well. And we were able to, assist him in some ways. And also, if there's any hardship cases, I mean, we got great resources between our police department, our fire department, and I know they work with some of our residents that we have to work with as well, and been able to resolve some issues for us as well.
Okay.
Good job.
Trustee Sturts, anything?
No, thank you.
I've got one quick thing. Mr. Roach, the last 3 resolutions that we pulled from this agenda, those were this morning, correct?
That's correct. We always go out the morning of.
Thank you.
We always go out the morning of.
Yeah, so not only is Tony and his team working, well before this meeting, but they are checking up to the day while we're preparing this, constantly shifting, working with our residents, making sure that what we are putting in front of the board are still active violations, active nuisances. So, thank you, sir.
Great, thank you.
Madam Chair, the other thing too is, when I came in, however long it's been now, 7 or 8 years ago, I've told you guys this, so I've said it publicly, I'll say it again. The model is you have a model process. Mr. Lane and the prior boards just have a model process. But get what Mr. Miller just said too. Not only do they wait to the day, they've already incurred the administrative costs. They've already incurred the additional. Well, they still wipe this, so they don't come back and assess these then. And so not only is it we don't really want to do it, we're actually eating the additional cost of waiting that last day to come and do it. So it's not only the working with, as Mr. Davis points out, it's also we'll eat the cost even to the last day. That's not what we're about. We don't want enforcement, we want compliance. And it's a model enforcement process.
Good. Thank you. Yeah, I just want to say something too. We care, and like Trustee Davis said, if you've got a problem with maintaining this, please let us know and see what we can do to help you, because it's not fair to the people living to your right or to your left to also have to put up with a problem. So please, reach out and let us know what the issues are and what we can do to help. Thank you so much. If there's nothing else, I can say that we have no public comments this evening, and we can move on to the announcement of community events.
All right. All right, announcing our Delhi Summer Concert Series for 2025. Concerts are held at Delhi Park Pavilion at 7 p.m. until 9:30 p.m. Our next one is July 23rd, the Eagles Project, followed by August 6th, DV8. Then August 20th, the Menus, and wrapping it up for the season, September 3rd, Forever Diamond.
Mr. Miller, we've added another one. September 17th is a rescheduled concert.
You are absolutely right. We did have a rain out, didn't we? Yep.
Yep.
All right, thank you
it was
for
a
that.
rain out, so it's been rescheduled for September 17th.
All right, thank you. Well, we will get that updated here, and I'm sure it's already on the website or social media. September 17th, we have another concert as well. Okay, food and drinks are available for purchase. No coolers, please. That would be in violation of our liquor license, so please help us stay legal. All right, the Delhi Farmers Market is Saturday, June 28th. This is held every Saturday from 9 a.m. until noon. It's held at Clearview Lake on Foley Road. We have over 30 vendors selling a variety of goods, so come check us out. Upcoming entertainment at the Lawn at Delhi Town Square. The Lawn Bar is open Friday and Saturday from 5 until 10, as well as on special event days. So come check us out. First up is Saturday, June 28th. Welcome Back Mary Beth Samoya at 7 p.m., Friday, July 4th, Alexa Michelle at 7 p.m. We have Saturday, July 5th, Steve Durr at 7 p.m. And then a special event, Tuesday, July 8th, we have the Cincinnati Metropolitan Orchestra at 7 p.m. And they will, I believe they'll have a special guest performer with them. Am I allowed to announce that?
Absolutely.
All right. We have our very own trustee, Mike Davis, that will be performing with them.
Get your tickets early.
That's right. Yeah, tickets will sell out quick. All right. All right, moving on. We have Friday, July 11th, Sentimental Street. This is a Night Ranger tribute band. Again, 7 p.m. And then Saturday, July 12th, Goose and Briz at 7 p.m. We do have many more. Those are being posted on the website, on all of our social media pages. Please check that out. We've got a full schedule going, I believe, out through October right now, and we still have events being added. So I will go ahead and say, although not on the list, we've got a classic motorcycle show coming up, Madcap Puppets, Shakespeare in the Park, Sapphire Express, some of the big ones.
Soul Pocket.
Soul Pocket, thank you. I was looking for them on here.
For 30th.
Yep, Tommy and Hub. It just goes on and on. So, and we still have many Fridays and Saturdays that we're still booking. So, again, come check us out. We'll always have something going on the weekend on the lawn. Okay.
If I might, Madam Chair, commenting on that Tuesday, July 8th, Cincinnati Metropolitan Orchestra. Yes, I'll be singing a song or two, but this is their gig, their show. But this is huge, absolutely huge. You're talking 50, 60 members of the Cincinnati Metropolitan Orchestra coming right here on the lawn. This is real. This is huge, and it's right the 4th of July in that area, right after that. But, you know, we also are celebrating the one-year anniversary of the ribbon cutting of everything there from July 13th. So I'm asking for you to consider, and I don't know the best way to go about that, but something to where you could truly make this a community night, a celebration, you know, of our country, of our township, whatever you want to say, on that night. I think it would be a really cool thing. Maybe even have hot dogs, whatever. Really, because you're not going to get this every day, having the Cincinnati Metropolitan Orchestra come out here and set up shop. So I really want the residents of the township and everywhere to get to this event, to truly make it a success, which means advertise it.
Big push.
Besides just now.
Yep.
And get this out there, and then maybe we can invite the community and have whatever, free hot dogs or whatever, and make it a fun family event. And not that it has to be that one, but I'm just looking. I don't think we would do that for Goose and Briz or this Night Rider tribute. Not that there's anything wrong with them. I just don't see that fitting in for the.
Sure.
So
Tuesday's good. I mean, we're right there at the one-year anniversary. It's right after 4th of July. Makes sense. So we can. Yeah.
Perfect party time.
We can go big that night. Absolutely.
yeah.
Great.
Okay. So a lot of events going on outside, but don't forget indoors. We do have a lot of arts programming. First up, Foundation Paper Piece Quilting classes. Thursday starting June 26th, so tomorrow, through July 17th, and then July 24th through August 14th. This is in the event center in our community classrooms. The cost is $80. Learn this fascinating and easy way to quilt blocks with intricate designs using foundation paper. Depending on the number of squares you complete, you can make enough for a pillow, table runner, or quilt. Materials needed: 1 yard of background fabric, neutral white or cream. Register at the Delhi Event Center's website.
Come join me.
That's right. Oh, are you signed up?
I'm signed up.
Okay. Yep. And
Thought you'd be teaching
fixed
it.
We fixed the posting. It's
I don't know how to
available to the
piece. I
public,
don't
so
have a
get out
paper
there,
piece.
sign up.
Yep, I don't have a paper piece.
All right. All right. So we're taking care of our, the adults and our quilters. We do have our summer day camp going on right now. Day camp openings for Superheroes Week, I believe, are still available. Monday through Thursday, June 30th to July 3rd, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., ages 5 to 12. This week features a visit from our Delhi superheroes from the police and fire departments. Unleash your inner superpower. Create your super shield and team up in contest of agility and problem solving. Register at the Delhi Event Center's website. Then we have the following day camp starting on July 7th, running through that week. We have campers create your own, your crown and family crest, build your castle and defend your kingdom using techniques taught in stage combat. Save the fair maiden from the fire-eating dragon. More information is coming on that, but get on the website, check it out.
It seems like the day camps have been very well attended.
Very popular.
Kids have been
Very
crazy.
fun.
Yes.
Yeah, really having a lot of fun.
We're definitely learning how to best utilize the building. I don't think our team here that, our offices are below us, right?
Yeah.
I don't think many of us realize that, hey, when it's raining out there, it's 100 degrees, we're going to have all these kids up here. So it's been a learning curve for
The
us.
pitter patter of tiny feet.
The pitter patter of tiny feet. Right? It's more like the stomping stampede of elephants.
Yes, it's been great.
But yeah,
No, it was great to see the kids having that much fun.
But
Really.
it's also great to see, the full utilization of our community classrooms.
Right.
It's just been an absolute treat.
Well,
nice.
And, Jenny Volley, who's been running those programs for, gosh, I'm going to say probably 6 months, she's been collecting, our Amazon and delivery boxes, and there's just been these giant, mountains of boxes. We're like, what the heck are you doing with these? Now I get it. Now I understand. She's actually turning these into some really cool projects with the kids. So it's amazing what those guys are doing. As you can see right there, there's a dragon.
Yeah.
So,
Very nice.
yep. All right, that's all I have.
All right, thank you. We do have reason for executive session tonight, so if I could have that motion, please?
Motion to retire to executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, and/or compensation of a public employee of the township and pending and imminent litigation.
So moved?
Second.
Mr. Luby, please call the roll.
Mr. Davis, Mrs. Sturts,
Yes.
Mrs. Seavey.
Yes. Retiring then to executive session is approved. I just want to say before leaving that we, as a board, wish you all the very best and safe 4th of July holiday. Behave and let us all be proud of your behavior. So have a great 4th of July. We'll see you on July the 9th. Thank you. And don't forget July the 8th. Come on up and hear the Cincinnati Metropolitan Orchestra. Thank you.